Free random encounter! Free random encounter! They kicked me off the roof. They told me it was unsafe. They told me we do not have insurance for me to be on the roof. And I told them, I have never had insurance in my life and I don't plan on starting now. So Tumblr is mostly for posting song lyrics or terrible motivational quotes over overly filtered and shitty photography. But there are a lot of great video game Tumblrs out there too, would you believe it? So I thought I would show off some of my favorite ones today, starting off with a timely one, the Sword and Sorcery AV Jam. This is awesome. Super Brothers and Cappy Games set up this Tumblr where people could submit art based on sword and sorcery. And you know that I'm a huge sword and sorcery fan. So I went and I checked it out, and there's some amazing stuff. Not just fan art, not just great fan art, but also fan art in the form of original music or stuffed versions of characters from the game. It's super impressive, and you should definitely check it out. And then we will be cosmic friends forever, okay? Next up is a Tumblr called Digo Gaming. This one has actually been making the rounds a little bit, or individual posts have. This is a site that puts up facts that you may not have known about video games. Like here's one, Serena Beach in Super Mario Sunshine is actually, if you look at it from the top, modeled after a GameCube controller. The art of the Sacred Realm in Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is actually exactly Skyloft from Skyward Sword. What? And then finally, this one is pretty interesting. Lara Croft was not supposed to be as well endowed. It was a mistake. The dude accidentally turned up a part of the model to 150%, and all the other horn dogs in the office were like, nah, dude, we should just keep it. I think it's a much more compelling game now. They have a lot of great facts over at Digo Gaming, so definitely subscribe to them. So older gamers and Japanophiles among us will remember how laughably bad most video game box art was in America and in Europe to an extent in the 80s and 90s. It's something that's kind of come back to bite us in the ass with that Mega Man and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which is hilarious but also infuriating. You know the one. Anyway, there is a Tumblr called Box vs. Box that takes classic and new video game boxes from different territories and compares them. Some of them are just interesting looks at different cultures, like the Comic Zone box art for the Genesis. Obviously in Japan it looked like a Japanese comic book. In America it looked like an American comic book. So that's kind of interesting. Some of them are just more painful reminders of how terrible we truly are over here. Like Dragon Warrior. Ugh. Or this Rygar box. Ugh. Or this Strider. Why does Strider have to look like an aerobics instructor / Max Headroom? He's a ninja. Why would he look like he's a ninja? I have no civic pride when it comes to looking at this Tumblr. Sucks it all right out of me. Finally this week is a Tumblr based on Draw Something, Don't Click Away. Yes, we're all tired of Draw Something. It's over, it's stupid, it was dumb. We all kind of emerged from our Draw Something hypnosis 3 weeks later. Wait a minute, that wasn't even a game. I've been tricked. But there's this guy who does a Draw Something Tumblr called Ignore Hitler. I don't know if you've seen this. This is phenomenal. He basically draws Hitler really prominently into every one of his Draw Something matches and then just writes into it, ignore Hitler. Things like corn, flamingo, one about finger, peace, just simple clues, camera. Really simple clues, right? Just ignore Hitler. Just put him out of your mind. Just become a Holocaust denier and you'll be really great at Draw Something. And people will love you. So anyway, those are some really good video game Tumblrs that I am keeping up with. There are tons more, and I want to know which ones you're following, or if you've seen any cool, weird, or interesting video game stuff lately. You can send it to me. I'm contact@anthonycarboni.com. I am on Twitter @acarboni. And remember, we do so many of the videos about the video games on the internet, if you can believe it. You can find them all at youtube.com/rev3games or revision3.com/games or on Twitter @rev3games. Here I am, just reduced to doing my shows from a vacant, abandoned lot.